What is going on, guys? My name is Sean Barnard, and today I'm here with bettingnj.com, here to do a sportsbook breakdown on DraftKings Sportsbook and Casino in the state of New Jersey. I'm going to take you through the sign-up process, talk about the pros and cons of the sportsbook as a whole, as well as make sure that there's everything you need to know regarding the availability, what types of wagers are on the app, and everything else. So before I dive fully into it, I would like to recommend that you guys can check out the full written version of this breakdown. The link is in the description to this video. It goes a little more in depth into some specific questions that you might have, as well as it makes sure that you can capitalize on the best possible sportsbook promotions that are being offered on DraftKings. So make sure to check that out. Once again, the link is directly in the description of this video. But I want to go into today just diving into a little bit about DraftKings, what you can expect. And I'm going to start off by sharing my screen with you and give you a look at the user interface. So as you can see, the black and green design here, this is what DraftKings has become known for. It's kind of their standard look and something that they've grown a strong reputation for. DraftKings is one of the major players in the sports betting industry, as well as the state of New Jersey has been one of the more progressive when it comes to rolling out the gambling legislation and making sure that it is available to the most amount of customers and users as possible. So DraftKings has taken that personally, that they were involved in New Jersey just right at the start and grabbed a stronghold of the market share there. Just in 2021 alone, there was $10.9 billion reported by DraftKings to have gone back and forth on the app there. That is a lot of money being thrown around. That is a huge number there. But let's take a look. Let's go through the sign up process, the login process. And as you can see, right in front and center, there is two buttons, whether to log in or sign up. If we're going to hit that sign up button there, it will take you directly to the screen. Here you got to punch in an email, a username, a password, phone number. You will be asked to verify your identification as well as your geolocation to make sure that you're within the state's boundaries in a place where DraftKings Sportsbook is legal. It is legal in many states in addition to New Jersey, so you can travel along as long as the state that you are in does allow sports gambling, and DraftKings is approved there. And New Jersey specifically, this is the case. Also, a quick reminder here, if you scroll down a little bit before signing up, there is an option for a promo code. That is an example of the sportsbook bonus that I mentioned. That is an awesome way to maximize your earnings while minimizing your risk, getting your hands on some free coin or some money in your account to make sure that you have the best chances of turning it into even more money. So the best way to do that is, once again, by clicking the link in the description, heading over to bettingnj.com. We have a ton of info to make sure that you are capitalizing on the best possible promotions. These are constantly changing based on the sports book, so make sure that you're staying up to date there. Now, let me take out of this. Let me stop sharing my screen. I'm going to get logged into DraftKings here. I'm going to take a different look at what the interface is like on the inside. So right now, currently going through the geolocation process. I will say that this is one of the bigger downsides of the app, that sometimes there's a little bit of not consistency with making sure the geolocation does work. That's one of the most common complaints when it comes to DraftKings and the technology of it, that sometimes does cause some problems in general, that this is something that you simply log out, log back in, and it fixes itself. I've seen more of an issue with this on the mobile app compared to the desktop version, but that is something to have note. And in the grand scheme of things, not something that is a big deal, but it can be frustrating for the time being. So you can see that we're logged into the DraftKings app here. We can see a little bit of all these sports on the side, as well as the different splits for how to wager up top when it comes to the home, my bets, live in-game promos, how to bet. There is some good information on the site itself as far as making sure that you are making some smart decisions, which is a huge pro to DraftKings, that they tend to be expanding into that world. And then when you scroll down to the left side, that you can see all the lists of sports that are available to place wagers on. And this goes pretty extensive. I mean, the first option, Academy Awards, if that's your thing, Aussie rules, baseball, basketball, boxing, cricket, cycling, darts, football, golf, handball, hockey, lacrosse. So it has all the majors, in addition, several niche sports as well. And it does split things up into some more specific when we talk about, here's NFL weekly odds, primetime games, prop bets, futures. Obviously, we're football season, that it does take the world by storm, and that the DraftKings is there to capitalize on it all the way. At the top, also, there's some rotating promotions. These are not the sign-on promotions. The sign-up promotions, I will say, are oftentimes the most lucrative, and sometimes that you should definitely check out before getting enrolled. But there's also a number of additional bonuses that DraftKings consistently rotates. And as you can see, Thursday night, 50% profit boost for tonight's matchup, a free every game, no sweat bet. So a ton of options there. There's constantly some no sweat bets, some odds boost that they do offer. And once again, these apply to everyone. That this is not just a sign up bonus. That anyone using DraftKings app does have the availability to that. If you want to put money in your account, which of course is important so you can wager in the first place, you're going to go to the top right and click that deposit button. So we're going to go through this here. And as you can see, there are a ton of different options when it comes to whether it be your credit or debit card, online banking directly, PayPal, ACH e-check, the Play Plus card, the prepaid card, a wire transfer, a DraftKings gift card, your Venmo, or cash if you go to a selected location there. The minimum deposit for DraftKings is only $5. So you only have to put 5 into if that's all you want to work it, little risk. You can do that as well. And you can see the minimum deposit, $5 right here. And so it does have an extensive option for everything you could possibly want as far as when it comes to making a wager. Now let's take a look at some of the bets that are specifically offered. As I mentioned, it is football season, so there's plenty to go off there and plenty to wager on. I'm going to click on the football section in the left and go to the NFL. So we scroll down here and you can see the wagers or the odds on each of the matchups for this week. I know the Eagles are Super Bowl contenders, that they are a team that obviously lost in the Super Bowl last year, has every intention of getting it back, and they will be the Monday night game this week. Spread at -5. It has moved up from -4.5 to -5. A little bit of line movement there for the Monday night doubleheader, but I still feel good about the Eagles getting the result here. So -5, I'm going to click that, and you see it simply adds to your bet slip here. So it pops right over to the right, and you simply wager as much as you want. So you'd simply type the amount that you want to put in, click place bet, and it goes right through. So that's as simple as it comes when it comes to a straight bet. And one of the more common and more popular ways of wagering is also parlay. So say you want to get more in the mix, that it's not just the Eagles. Maybe you feel good about the Giants getting a result this week too, that we're going to go a little NFC East parlay here. So I'm going to scroll up to the Giants game, look for that, and they will be facing off against the 49ers. 49ers 10.5 point favorites in this matchup. I don't know if the Giants are going to win outright, but I will take the spread there for them to cover that 10.5. And you see this is added to your bet slip as well. You can bet each of these as individual bets by typing in the numbers right here, or it combines the parlay for you. So for both those spreads in a two-leg parlay, the odds would be plus 264 there. So if you were to $10 on it, that would be a potential payout of $36.44. And once again, you would simply click the place bet button and it goes right through there. Let's say you want to get a little deeper, that beyond just that game, I want to go into, let's take these out of the bet slip here. There we go. Let's circle back to the Eagles game on that Monday night matchup. Scroll back down here, and I'm going to click on that for some more options. So as you can see, it does have the main popular options front and center when it comes to spread, the score total, the money line, but there's much more than that. That once you dive into the specific game, here it is, all the touchdown numbers here. Jalen Hurts anytime touchdown at -105, AJ Brown at +135, DeAndre Swift +130. And in addition to just the touchdown, that there's things like the first drive that you can bet the exact result, the quick hits, which is the first team to score, for first method of score, things like that. There's also some weekly specials, which are some pre-made parlays that you can dive into. An example of this, Devontae Smith 100 plus receiving yards and a Devontae Smith touchdown at +550 odds. There's some passing props for specific, whether it be passing touchdowns, passing yards, rushing, receiving, defense and special teams, quarters, halves, team props as a whole. If you want to specifically bet the Eagles points total at 25.5 and the game props. So just about any possible wager that you could possibly look for is available on DraftKings Sportsbook. This is one of the biggest pros to the app, is there is a deep catalog of options for you to wager on. I'm going to click the same game parlay button. This is something that has become increasingly popular and has been a major focus of DraftKings Sportsbook. And let's see, -5.5 on the spread for the Eagles here. I'm going to throw it in for this. Sometimes there is a little bit of variance in the spread for the same game parlays versus the traditional. It's more so because of the lines are constantly moving as money comes in on either direction, and the same game parlay doesn't quite stay as up to date as the general bets there. So it will catch up, it will settle itself, but that is something to note there. So I'm going to click the -5.5 spread. Jalen Hurts anytime touchdown, -110 odds in the same game parlay, but I am still taking that. And I also think the passing props has gone a little underrated for Jalen Hurts. That 250 yards, I think, is well attainable for him. This is something that he can confidently do. And I'm going to make that the parlay there. So you can see Philadelphia Eagles -5.5, Jalen Hurts anytime touchdown, and 250 passing yards. At +675 odds, a pretty impressive payout there. And say I was to put 15 on it, that would be 116.25 in a potential payout. So that is how the same game parlay works in the same process, where you just click the place bet and make sure that it goes right through there. Another thing that I want to point out, and something that has become increasingly popular, is the live betting. So if I go to the live in-game betting button right at the top here, this will take you to the sports that are currently playing. So right now we just have soccer, tennis, golf, and darts. So not a super active time of day when we come to these sporting events when it comes to wagering on that. But any game that is taking place live can be found right underneath this. You simply click on that and jump right to it. So for example, if it was the prime of football season, each of these options would be on the table. For now, let's still take a look at what we got. Let's look at this golf match here. Let's see what we got going on. The Open de France. Let's say I feel really good about Minwoo Lee getting the win here, or I'm going to go top 10. So you can jump right on that at plus 165 for the top 10 finish there. And one thing to keep in mind about live betting, one of the reasons that has grown in such popularity is there is opportunities where the odds increase in a way that would not otherwise be the case. For example, if you want to bet on a major favorite, and golf is not the best example of this in this case, let me switch over to soccer for this. Let's say in this matchup, Belgrano were considered massive favorites going in. They're minus 150 or minus 550 as it currently stands in the 63rd minute there, up 1-0. So not a huge surprise there. But let's say that they were major and now 2-0 as the Lions have to minus 20,000 there. So yeah, they're very clearly the big favorite in this game. But if they were to fall behind early, say they were minus 550 heading into the game and let up an early goal, you might see that line shift in a super favorable way. So there's an opportunity to capitalize on value that otherwise would not be there by paying attention to the live line and keeping in touch with the live betting market. So that is something that is a very lucrative way to cash out and make sure that you're getting the most potential earnings. And that is a reason that has grown in popularity in a major way. Overall, as far as DraftKings as a whole, that it is one of the biggest players in the sportsbook industry for a reason, that they do check about every possible box that you could possibly want when it comes to what you're looking for in a sportsbook, between the welcome bonus, which are incredibly frequent and they have constantly new opportunities popping up. And once again, check out bettingnj.com to make sure that you're getting the most up-to-date and most lucrative option there. They also have everything you could possibly want when it comes to the payment options, so you can get money into your account. The Sportsbook app design, I really like the usage of it, have not had any major issues, and the payout is incredibly fast. They typically guarantee it will be there within 3 days. Personally, I have never seen it but take over 24 hours. That they are constantly up, and in addition to that, that the customer support is spot on. There is 24/7 available support channels. They have a number of different ways to get in contact. And as I mentioned, as a whole, that the biggest thing is just the depth and the deep catalog of wagering options that they do place on DraftKings Sportsbook. So I would consider this. I would recommend using it as a sportsbook that I do think it checks just about every box that users could possibly want, sports fans could possibly want. And once again, before you dive fully in, to click the link in our bio to check out bettingnj.com, get a little more in-depth breakdown of some specific questions you might have, and make sure that you're getting the best possible promo codes. That will take you directly to DraftKings from bettingnj.com, so you can get everything you're looking for and check every box there. So thank you guys for tuning in this video. Best of luck with all your wagers, and I will talk with you next time. Peace.